Hi, this is a review on the Fenix CL27R. They call it a rechargeable lantern, and I say it's a lantern, a flashlight, emergency light. It's a one and done for me. It's a new item that we purchased at Christmas this year, and we've already done a review on this on my guy's channel, which is Wookie in the Wild. But we got some of the specs wrong. So I wanted to correct that. And there were a lot of things that I didn't mention that I've thought of after the fact. So I've been testing this for, I don't know, time flies, about 3 weeks now, using it constantly every day. And it's really impressed the heck out of me. And with everything that's going on now, floods, fires, everything, I often think back to my parents and how they would, wade through all this. And especially with modern technology and everything being so difficult and complicated, this is just really a simplified unit that anyone can use, especially seniors. So this is our Husky Nova, and he always shows up for videos because he wants his pretty face on film. I'm dating myself. So anyway, that's the first thing that struck me. If my parents were still with us, this is probably what I would get them for their next birthday present or Mother's or Father's Day. But the sooner the better at this point. And because of the brilliant old school design to it. So it has the rotating dials on each side. And to use this light, it's as simple as clicking it on. And you can make it as bright as you want. And this, just reverse it. Shut it off. That's really all a senior would have to know. Besides, I'll show you in a minute how easy it is to carry. On the other side, if you want to get fancy, if you turn the light on, you can change the color of it. So it goes from a bright white to a neutral color to an amber color. And Nova likes the amber color the best, right? Yep. To take this another step further, when the light is on, like it is now, I'm going to turn it back to the bright white light. There's a button in the center that's really big. It's easy to push. It's not some little teeny things. And if you push that button, you're going to run through the modes. And the first thing that you're seeing right now, it's hard to tell on the camera, but it is the spotlight. So that is the center bulb. If you hit it again, you get the spotlight and all the little LEDs that create a more broad effect when you're lighting something up. So that is what they call flood. If you hit it again, you're getting just the flood feature. In this mode, in the flood, you can then change the colors from that bright white to neutral to the amber. The spot doesn't change the colors, but when it's spot and flood, again, you can change the colors because that flood is actually the bulbs that are changing. So if you turn the unit off, and you hit the center button again real quick, you're going to get the battery mode. And you can see I have 3 dots. That means that I've used 1/4 of the battery, and I had it on all last night, and I've been trying to make this video and just playing around with it, and it's really impressive that it's lasted this long. Because, you know, I had it on red light for probably 8 hours at least. So again, it's very intuitive. This would be good for a small child. Again, you know, someone with poor mobility, an elderly person that can't remember a million directions, or even people like myself, hitting the seniors, that I just can't see all these little I can't even tell which side it is. Over here. It's literally, it's horrible to try to, and you can barely hear how it clicks. I think I already said this, but I have gone to around the house and energize a flashlight that just has the simple top. Hear that? Clicky. And it just, you hold it on, I think it gets brighter. I don't know. Yeah. I never even use all that stuff. I just turn it on. Where's the dog? You know? So just like taking off my tripod, I use my little Leatherman and just twist it. The battery compartment on the thing, on the rechargeable lantern, is the same. It's got a big slot in there, and you just turn it. They give you a little tool, this plastic round thing. Also, they give you another O-ring for the battery compartment so that it stays watertight. But instead of using that, because you know we're going to lose these things, they'll end up in the junk drawer. It's good to know that, you know, you can use anything to open this. You don't need special tools. Now, I'm doing this one-handed, so it's hard for me to do. But it opens very easily. You can use a quarter, a dime, a nickel, a butter knife, anything. So I just loosened it a little bit. And there we go. Easy peasy. So inside that black, if you can see that at all, is the rubber O-ring. It comes with a Fenix 5,000 milliamp, I believe it's lithium battery, rechargeable, of course. And I looked these up online, and to replace this is around $25. Now, I've had other large batteries, and I've yet to have to replace them, especially in the Energizer that I just showed you. That same battery's been running for about 5 years now. And I use the flashlight every day. So, I have high hopes for this. If it fails in a year, you do get the replacement. So on the top, where you have the standard female to the tripod mount, there is also 2 of these little U symbols, which are very powerful magnets. Now, on the Wookiee in the Wild video that the Wookiee did, that the Wookiee and I did, he actually attached this to our ceiling fan, and it was just like having a light bulb in the room. The magnets are very, very powerful. I have, obviously, right here, a pile of magnetic flashlights, and nothing compares to the magnets on this. So they're very robust, heavy-duty magnets. The great thing about this also is that it will stay. It turns 360 on the handle, but it will stay put in whatever position that you need it to stay. It's very hard to do with one hand, but if I want it in this position, it stays there. If I want it more this way, it stays. Now, if it starts coming loose, one of the things I noticed is it has these screws, or whatever you want to call them, that I'm sure you could tighten, the little star ones. Just give it a little tighten and it'll probably correct itself if it starts sliding. But so far, I've been, sticking it to everything and really playing with it, and it has remained very tight. It will stay like that. I can't even really shake it that much out of place. So, when I was talking about the handle, and elderly people, this is something that they could really grasp onto, especially if, they have poor mobility. I'm thinking of people in walkers. You could mount this to a walker. Really be able to hold it sturdy and still use a cane. Stuff like that. You're not going to drop this. You could have gloves on. And the same thing for kids. Now, it does have a rating for dropping. So it's a very robust casing. It is, I think this part must be some kind of aluminum with heavy, heavy plastic. How thick the plastic is. The only thing I would imagine that would crack is that. And you could probably have that replaced. But it's a pretty chunky unit. I can't see, and this is metal. I'll give you the specs and details in a minute, and we've already gone through that. If you go to the Fenix website, which is fenixlighting.com, you can get all the specifications. There's great reviews. Any questions that you have. One thing that I noticed that hasn't been said is that first responders, teachers, and military get a discount. It doesn't say what kind of discount. They'll show you at checkout. Right now, they're running a 10% discount, so I'm assuming that's probably what it is. Other than that, you get free shipping from Fenix Direct. Anything over $25, and this is $84.95, and I believe it's the same on Amazon. The change might be a little bit different, but that's what I paid for them for Christmas. So, also, you get, if you buy through Fenix Direct, you get the 5-year warranty. In the small print, it says, if you give me a minute, okay, this is the newer model right here. This would have the C to C charging. Again, this is the C to the regular, I believe it's the A USB. Show me more reviews. No, I don't want that. I want customer support. Hold on. Okay, so here it is. It's under warranty. It says, please note that Fenix brand has come to an agreement with something amount of other retailers which allows them to service their own customers. If you purchased your light from one of those retailers, We will refer you to their service center for support. Examples of retailers that do not support warranty service for Amazon and its affiliates, PhoenixStore.com, Overstock, Phoenix Tactical, Battery Junction, Optics Planet. Rest assured that no matter who you purchase from, your Phoenix product will have the same excellent warranty. Excluded from warranty coverage is any damage to the exterior deemed reasonable wear and tear, such as scratches and or fading of color. So they're not going to cover that. In addition, the warranty does not apply to damage caused by abnormal or unreasonable use of any of the components. This includes the use of unapproved batteries in Phoenix products. See user manuals. This warranty is in place of all other warranties, da-da-da-da-da. So they want you to use their Phoenix battery, and again, that's just about $25 to replace. I would be surprised that, you could get 3-4 years out of it. Just buy other batteries that I purchased before that are still going 5-6 years later. So, some of the technical specs that we went through before and we kind of messed up on is, this is, as we'll see on the box, it is IP, where are you? Let's see, I can't see it. Hold on a second. Okay, right here. This is IP66 rating. This means that you cannot submerge it in water and use it as an aqua light or anything like that. I did see a picture of the advertising where it was like in a puddle or something. If you grab it quick, I'm sure it's going to be okay. Again, the thing is all screwed together. It's not, some plastic seal or anything like that. It's got the rubberized charging port cover. One of the tricks on this is that you want to, after you open it, you go to close it, you want to push it from the bottom and massage it up until it's flat. Get it all nice and sealed in there. Takes a minute, but it's good because it doesn't come off easy. And if you don't, this won't close. So we got that wrong. The other thing that we got wrong in the video is the weight is 10.58 ounces. That's including the battery. 300 grams if you're not imperial. So it's a pretty lightweight unit. This is something that I'm thinking, well, it's kind of like a one and done for me. As you see, I have gear spread out everywhere. I'm going through all my gear and all my preps and getting rid of things that are redundant, or one of my biggest things is anything that doesn't charge on USB-C. I don't want a million cables anymore. I don't want special connectors like Olight has. They were fun at first, the magnetic base charging, but so many times I've had flashlights just fall off of them at camp. When I've had them on the Jackery, the dog knocks them off. The next night I go to use the flashlight and it never charged that day. So I'm done with all that. Everything is going to be C. So that's a definite plus with this. And let's see. Any other thing? All right. Right there, max runtime. 285 hours. That's just about 12 days. So if you have this on the lowest setting, and we'll go through that in the stats, you get 12 days of light, which is just amazing. Okay, rechargeable. I believe I went over the flashing. Oh, the red, if I didn't, because I've done this video so many times. If you hit, when this is off, click off. When you hit the center, just hold down and let it get your basic red flashing light. This is what I use the most around the house, especially at night, because I'm always up late. I don't want to disturb the Wookiee or the dogs, and it saves your night vision. I actually prefer reading under red light. For camping, I have all red lights now because you want to kind of stay incognito or stealth. It's a better way to go. So this does not get brighter or dimmer. This stays as it is, and I'll give you the stats on that. It's pretty bright the way it is. Now, if you hit the button again, it goes off. But if you turn it on and then turn it quickly, push it quickly, it goes into the red light beacon, which is awesome if you need like roadside assistance. It's your SOS call. So if you're on the side of the road, you can put it on the hood of your car and alert everyone that, you know, you're there fixing the car or whatever. Also, if you get lost, there are so many people getting lost now or stuck out in the mountains. We live in New Hampshire. It's almost every week. And their cell phone dies and rescue can't find them. They're pinging this and that. If they had something like this, and I know, oh my God, it's a blasphemy for ultralighters or for anyone to even carry a flashlight. They are literally carrying stuff. What's my smallest flashlight? Smaller than this. And notice this is like dead because it has regular batteries. Definitely smaller than this. I don't even think they would go up to a keychain one this big. Some do carry headlamps, and this is the most popular one, the Nightcore NU25. And good for them, because this does have a red light feature, but it's not going to be as bright as that with the 5,000 milliamp battery behind it. There's a difference. So this is something that will actually fit in a pocket. And it's probably the equivalent to, 2 protein bars or something like that. You can put it in your pocket jacket on the inside, in a vest somewhere. But this is your insurance. It's daylight now, so of course you can't see. But again, if you go to the other YouTubers, they've done really great outdoor tests in the distance and all that stuff, which is pretty impressive. On the website, they have a little chart. I'm just going to go through it real quick. Like I said, there's a floodlight, so that's the broad area light. There's the spotlight, so that's the beam in the center, the concentrated light. Then you can use them both together, the flood and the spot. So, starting with the floodlight, on high, the output is 12,000 lumens. The run time is 4 hours and 18 minutes. That's on high. 12,000. Now, most of these little flashlights like these, they might go up to something like 12,000. You are lucky if you get 5 minutes without the thing nearly catching on fire. It'll just phase down to lower lumens. The spot, I believe, on the O-light, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes, something like that. There's turbo. It will just dull down. So if you're looking for your dog out in the woods in the middle of the night in a snowstorm and you need bright light, this is your guy or gal. So again, high 12,000 lumens, 4 hours and 18 minutes, and the distance is 174 feet. You will not get that from this. And this was very expensive. This was probably as much as this light is when we got it 10 years ago. The next is medium on the floodlight, 600 lumens, and that's like the average flashlight. That would be something like my Energizer that I use every night. It's probably the maximum that it goes to. Great around the house, but I want something a little bit better if I'm looking for my dog, my child, my elderly parent that's wandered away, that's happened to me. Use your imagination. On low, you get 10 lumens, and that's pretty bright. I mean, that's equivalent to some of my other little flashlights, the little keychain deals. You can definitely read by that and see around. 170 hours you get on low. Come on. And the distance is 16 feet. Love that. For the spotlight. So we were talking about all the little LEDs. That was the first one. That's the floodlight. For the spotlight in the center, that bright little bulb there. On high, you get 800 lumens. 8 hours. Again, crazy, crazy runtime. Medium, 400 lumens. 10 hours and 15 minutes. On low, which is 5, which is Firefly on most other flashlights. Let's see if I can get this one on low. Firefly, enough to see around. You get 100 hours and 59 feet. The red light is 10 lumens. So again, that's not adjustable. It is as it is, and that is plenty bright for me, who uses red light all the time. You get 72 hours. So that's awesome. And on the flash, if you have to put this on your car and get assistance, or if you're lost on the top of Mount Washington and you want to flash it off the snow to signal the planes, you get 144 hours, and the distance is 15 feet. So that's just what you can see in front of you. That doesn't mean that it isn't bouncing off the snow or the trees or anything else like that. So for me, this is a one and done. And I will end the flashlight review here. $85 worth of insurance is nothing nowadays, especially for your elderly parents. I'm going to hop on people because I had a mother with dementia. And I'll tell you, it's not easy. To further my madness here, again, like I said, because of the apocalyptic nature of 2025, I'm going to go through all my prep gear. Now, the Wookiee and I, 14 years ago, really connected to each other when we met through the fact that, he's a Marine and lived the prepping lifestyle because he had to live out of his rucksack. And I was taking care of my elderly mom at the time. We just found out she had dementia. I had to move in with her. And a lot of funky stuff was happening back then too. Okay, what's going on now is nothing new. This was back in, I believe it was 2009, 2010. It was after the 2008 crash. And before the 2012, oh my God, everything's gonna, blow up for those that followed that. So, I was big online then because I had the time to finally be online, taking care of my mother. And I really got into prepping, and we started off basic. Chris started off with all the military stuff. He gave me an education on that. And I was right before that, I was watching all kinds of videos online, making my kits for my mother, for my dog. At the time, we had we had two cats. It was just crazy. And the bags that I made and the stuff that I grabbed from around the house and stuff that I was conned into buying on Amazon from all these YouTube preppers at that time was I would have needed a more than a wagon, to haul all this stuff out into a car. My point is things have evolved since then, and I started watching through hikers. Now, the drama around through hikers, as bad as it is, they are ill prepared. There's absolutely no question on that. But the bonus with them is that they're actually hiking 5,000 miles, and some of the gear that they use really turns out to be spectacular. Especially in the clothing department, how to pack, what you need, what you don't need, what you can live with, what you can live without. Now, obviously, they're hiking, 2-3 days, and they're running into town to a store and buying all kinds of crap. But that still doesn't negate the fact that, sometimes they might be out there a week just living with a 10-pound base weight pack, plus food and water. So I've learned a lot from them. And over the at least 10 years I've been listening to them, I've changed out a lot of stuff. Like, I'm only going with USB-C. This is BS to me that everyone has to have their dedicated cords and, and then you got to buy this and no. So, and the gear explosion in the past 10, 15 years is incredible. So, I'm going to try to do a little series of what I've learned from other people. I mean, there's only one thing that I've actually come up on my own, but I actually got the initial idea from someone else, and then I just found something better. But we can pack, we can prepare, and not put 80 pounds on our backs. Over there, you see I have a rolling suitcase, then I have a suitcase carrier, I have a million kinds of bags. Again, I got sucked into buying bags that was some weigh, 7 pounds, when I can only carry 10 pounds on my back, and that's another thing. I actually went out. Chris and I would go out every weekend, especially years ago. Now we're getting older, but and more broken down. But so I've tried this stuff. I've tried this stuff at, let's say, 50 years old, and now, late 40s, and now I'm reaching 60, and there's absolutely no way. Now, if you are an 18 to 28, 30-year-old, and you go to the gym every day, and you work out, and you got big muscles, and you jog and all that stuff, great. It's awesome. But the average person, male or female, but I'm going to focus in on female in my little series, is not going to be able to pull it off, especially between 50 and 70 years old, unless they are Olympian training or something like that. Since the California fires, every Jane, Jill, and Betty is out there making prep bag videos, bug out bag, EDC, inch bag means I'm never coming home. And some of the stuff is completely ridiculous. Not much more to say about that until I get into the video. So I'm going to try to do something to detract from that and also go with a middle ground. Now, most of the California fires, people should have had time to pack their cars and get out. But for some reason, a ton of them didn't. Same with North Carolina floods. They just weren't heeding the warnings. That's the kindest way I can put it. A hurricane's coming, and it would be just like here, a hurricane's coming. Okay, we've lived through a million hurricanes. But I have bags all over the place in case the roof flies off. Because we've turned this into a hobby, really. You know, we're like gear junkies now. Some people gamble or whatever, drink cocktails, and we're gear junkies. So anyway, there has to be a happy medium and still live safe. Because on the other end of it, we're saying that people are not getting aid. North Carolina, Tennessee, those areas, they got, what, $700 and something or whatever, and the same thing's going on in California. People are fleeing to hotels, shelters are full, and you could end up tenting it. Now, if you had to leave your car because you're in a traffic jam, can you travel with a pack and a tent and a sleeping bag and a this and a that and a jackery because you need power? You know, even though this thing isn't that heavy, it's hurting my wrist right now. And can you picture walking down the street with this? I don't know. There has to be a happy medium, and there is. And it costs money. That's the big thing. So anything lightweight is going to cost you money. Like this light, $85. People are going, $85? If this could save your parents' life, wouldn't you give up Starbucks for a month? You know? Or whatever junk we're consuming out there. Well, actually, we bought the pizza at Market Basket, but I had Papagino's from Market Basket. But everybody's as guilty. No. I don't want to hear excuses. No one has money, but we have money to buy that stuff. Or we have money for subscriptions or whatever. So just putting a bug in everyone's head to start preparing, and just be careful when you watch YouTube videos, because you're going to get sucked into a lot of things, and it's like, oh, I have to have this, I have to have that, oh, look at that, oh, this one's better, I bought that one, I can't return it, but no, I'll buy this one, I'll put that one in a drawer. And that's where we're all at right now, which is tough. It really is tough. You have to figure it out for yourself. And the only way to do that is to go outside right now at 22 degrees and put on a backpack and, you know, jam 20 pounds in, then jam 40 pounds in. You can put weights in there, bricks, who cares, and see how far you get. It's amazing. One more thing for the women out there. Men, you got it made, because backpacks are definitely made for you. For women, it's very expensive to get a backpack to fit you. Even the expensive ones still do not work for me because I have a small frame. The other thing is, you know, we're not all twiggy. Women have boobs. And even the expensive packs still dig in if you have any kind of size, which usually is, you know, someone 50, 60, 65. Okay, you're going to have these big welts. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. It's horrible. So I have some ideas on that. I can tell you what not to get. And I actually found something, a blast from the past, that actually works. And it's from LL Bean when people had brain cells back then. I would imagine this was made in the early 80s. It's a big backpack. And it's actually short for my torso because they did fit him back then. But the shoulder straps are thin and padded. They're not these big, huge, wide things that gouge into my neck or stick under my armpit. It's a nightmare. So there is something to that. If someone tells you, oh, just get your kid's school bag, well, that actually might work because school bags have thinner backpack straps and they're usually pretty padded. They're made for kids. So again, women, we got to check this all out. We just can't go to Goodwill and grab anything. On the higher end, you can go get fitted, but good luck with the straps. You also want to consider the weight. With all the bells and whistles comes the weight. If your base weight is 10 pounds, then your backpack can only be like a pound. That's a huge problem. So that's where you go back to the thru hikers that are using these ultralight packs. And, you know, they're not perfect, but they're pretty durable. And lo and behold, now I'm seeing military guy preppers using ultra lightweight packs because it just makes sense, especially for older men or anyone that has a back injury, a knee injury, foot injury, whatever. So there's that. I'll see you on the next one. Go grab your Fenix lantern. I keep forgetting the number. CL27R. For your parents, for yourself, for your kids. Probably less than video games. And stay safe out there. Thanks for listening. Bye.